joined ITC IHM, having 2 decade experience in ITC Maurya, ITC Maratha, ITC Sonar, Sheraton New Delhi, and other hotels in operation and learning and development. She is handling L&D operation based at ITC headquarter, ITC hotel headquarter in Gurgaon. Then we have Poonam Tyagi madam. She is a HR professional with 25-year experience, both strategic and operational level. Have hold leadership positions within the hospitality industry, head of the human resource at Lalit Suri Hospitality Group from last 8 years. Extremely passionate about the women empowerment and mentoring young talent, which is the need of the hour, mentoring young talent. Then we have the career counselor with us, Ms. Roma Kumar madam. She is the founder of Focus Eduverse Services, a highly qualified educationist, school and career counselor, 35-year vast experience in the above field, and worked at various key product with the Government of India, NCRT and CBSE, including NEP 2020. She has guided students and parents across northern India and has collaborated with prestigious public and residential schools and colleges. She is also author of a book on a school teacher and research paper in NCRT Journal. We delight to have Ashima madam as well as Poonam madam and Roma madam with us. Then we have Mr. Ranjit Akhilesh Sheth, who is the Associate Director Learning and Development with the Leela Palace Hotel and Resorts, alumni of AIHM Chandigarh 2001 batch. He is with Leela from last 2 years now and was heading L&D for Radisson Hotel for 10 years. He has worked at the Starwood Hotel, Pizza Hut and Grand Hyatt Hotel. He has experience in luxury retail, L&D and certified Six Sigma built trainer. Then I have two more persons from our own fraternity. One is Dr. Satvir Singh. Satvir Singh is Director of Studies, National Council for Hotel Management for more than 10 years. He is a distinguished figure in hospitality education and training, alumnus of IHM Pusa and a specialization in training and development. He served in the leadership roles in the institutions such as MIT School of Hospitality, CCH Mohali and IHM Faridabad. He has industrial exposure in Lee Meridian, this hotel only, in Jaipur hotels. PhD in Hospitality and Tourism Management, MTA and MSc in Hotel Management. He has accomplished 30 plus years of extensive industry and academic experience. He contributed to academic advisory audit committee and served as a board member, selection committee member to the various institutes. He is actively involved in the Indian Culinary Institute, whose students are here in chef uniform. And as well as he is the academic in charge of that institute. And then we have the Mr. Raja Sadhu Khan with us, who is a principal IHM Calcutta. He is also alumni of IHM Calcutta only. And he worked in Taj for a long period of time. Alumni of IHM Calcutta, master trainer and conduct trainer under HRD program, Government of India. He is MTM MPG certificate in industrial relations, experience of 3 decades, including 11 years as a senior faculty in F&B service and food production. He has moved back to industry after serving 11 years in the institute and joined ISCL as L&D manager and moved to human resource in Taj Ganges, Nadesar Palace, Varanasi, Taj Safari, Taj Lake Palace, Udaipur, Taj Amritsar, Taj City Center, New Town, Calcutta, and Taj Tal Kutir Convention Center, Calcutta. He moved to IHM Mumbai as a principal after almost 16 years instinct in the Taj Hotel. He is a people man and lead them with the affection. So with such an enriched panel, we just move to our topic of the discussion, which is a very appropriate topic of today's scenario, is the low enrollment in hospitality management institutes. So let me have 1 minute how we started in 1954 when the All India Women Council President Mrs. Leelavati Munshi, she started Annapurna chain of restaurant in Maharashtra to deal with the malnutrition case, and therefore she thought, and other people in that association thought, that why don't we have a supervisor who was professionally trained to supervise those kind of a snacks counter which were spread in Mumbai, Pune and other places. So that was the genesis of this education. No one was taught at that time in 1954. And you'll be happy to know that 1954 was the year when the Cornell Institute of Hospitality Management bifurcated from Department of Home Science. So we were pioneer. And these IHMs, when it was created, then we come the time when Mr. Bilford Smith, with the support of Dr. K.M. Munshi, who is the founder of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, he reached to the UNDP and United Nations has given Mr. Bilford Smith and technical and catering expert to this field, and I blindly can say he is the father of catering education in India. I read, because I was the principal of IHM Mumbai, fortunately, I read somewhere that on a day when he came out from the ministry and to the institute, 5-6 faculty members were sitting in the lawn, and sir is smiling because his father was greatly associated with the Mr. Peshi Shaw, with the institute and with the hospitality education. So when he was coming, he had gone to the faculty member and said, we are about to come with 3 more institutes of hotel management in the country. I am talking about 57, 58. Everyone started laughing, including all those faculty members who was there. Then he said, why you are laughing? He said, sir, we are not being able to get our salary for 3 months in this institute, and you have such a great vision of opening 3 more institutes. But I appreciate the vision of that person in 1972 when he left India. After he came in 1956 or 57 and 1972 he left India. India was having 4 regional institutes of hotel management and 9 food craft institutes to train people at the operational level in different state headquarters or state capitals. So that was the vision. And when 1990 we had, some of the food craft institute was upgraded, and we reached to the number of 21 institutes of hotel management along with the 30, and presently we have 30 state institutes of hotel management along with the several, I think more than 1,000 institutes of hotel management are spread in the country, and with the different names, with the different affiliation. Sometimes it is a cause of worry also, how can a person can be trained in 2 months and then go to the 5-star hotel and work there. But our system of NCHM City Institutes is a very structured system. We have the trade diploma where students have been trained for 1.5 years in a particular trade. It may be kitchen, it may be bakery, F&B service, housekeeping, front office, and then 1 year in the institute, basics, and 6 months in the industry, and then we feel he is fit to go and work in the industry. So we need to relook into the 3 months, 2 months program, which is mushrooming in our country. We need to see that will it be right step to go ahead, or we should strengthen the trade diploma and the bachelor's program. So low enrollment is hitting everyone. It is hitting to the institute, it is hitting to the infrastructure, it is hitting to the council and other affiliating body. We all know, we have everything with us. We have our students who are at class 2. Large number of people are there of class 2, but still we are not being able to tap them. We are not being able to get the requisite number of students with us for the hotel management program. Satvir Singh, my friend, has reminded me day before yesterday that 10 years back we have 7,000 admission in NCHM City affiliated institutes because there were only 8,000 seats. Now we have 12,000 seats, but still the admissions are more or less 7,000, something like that. But the difference is there. Difference is in the quality that of the product, or a student who are coming to us at that time and the students who are coming to us. We have to see into it, but I need not to go further into it, and would like to ask panelists what are the basic causes come to their mind of the low enrollment, and what is the way out of dealing that. Only causes will not help. They have to give us the roadmap, or they have to give us the point where actionable point which can be noted and can be implemented by the industry as well as by the institutes, because we cannot spare institutes for low enrollment also. So in the same way, so I will start with the Ashima madam. What do you think is the reason of the low enrollment and what are the way out?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible. Okay, a lot has already been said, and I think a couple of points would perhaps be a repetition. But I think the first thing is about who are the students who are joining us, right? So somebody talked about the 3 C's, and communication is something is definitely lacking, and I'm talking from personal experience because I now have a daughter who's in class 11th, and she's going to decide what career to opt for, and the only reason she knows about hospitality and none of her friends know about it is because I'm a hotelier as her mother, and she has had exposure to hotels. And this I'm talking about one of the best schools in the Delhi NCR region. So we do need to think that if the students don't know that hospitality exists as a career, and I'm not talking about hotels alone, if they are not aware of what they can do and how they can make careers out of it, then how will they opt for it? So what are we doing, and are we doing enough to reach out to the students across the country at a much higher level to let them know? And every time I've also tried to reach out to schools as an L&D manager in the past to talk about hospitality, they are shut off. They don't want us to come. So I think this is one great opportunity for all of us to understand that the students are the ones who will come to us, right, after class 12. So do they know enough about us? And the second part is the glamour part of it, that they are so disillusioned about what the hospitality industry is about because of only what is coming to the eye as a guest. So maybe we need to enthrall them with what is behind and how is it that they can enjoy what they do and make them understand the industry, right? So that is my first point regarding communication to the student who is going to come into hotels. The next part is the students who are doing hotel management and then they decide not to join us. And that's equally a big challenge as well. Because again, the myth is that everyone is going to become a general manager as soon as they join, or at least a management trainee. But I think what the industry offers is far more. You know, we talked about 67 different job positions for which people can be trained. But what they are looking at right now is only 4. I either become an executive chef or an F&B manager, and nobody wants to start from the entry level. Why? I think the fitment or the understanding of the right kind of personality traits, person, how do they fit into the role is very important, and the students don't understand that. The last thing I'd like to point out here really is, most of us here have a lot of hospitality experience, right? I've been working as well for now more than 20 plus years, but I get up every single day and I love what I do. But when I started off many years ago as a management trainee, I think what hold me instead, unfortunately, I felt in the first couple of days as an industrial trainee and a management trainee that I didn't understand what's happening because my curriculum did not give me that exposure to understand that skills are more important, firstly, than the knowledge I've acquired. So how is it that I understand the environment? But also more important is tenacity, passion, okay? You have to be very, very passionate about hoteliering, and you have to be very emotionally intelligent and be able to deal with the environment. So somewhere when the students come in after all the learning that they've had and a very limited exposure of the hospitality internship, which has also been reduced to only 4 months they are disillusioned. By the time they understand the department, they move to the next department. And then the fact that many of them have already chosen that they, let's say, want to become chefs, they don't want to spend time in front office, housekeeping, and F&B. So the other part of the C, which is the curriculum, should also be aligned in the manner that the student gets more exposure. Whenever we have asked colleges to support us, let's say, with students to get more exposure in hotels, the curriculum doesn't permit them to come across, right? So somebody mentioned gig workforce. Why are we looking at workforce for the hotels? Maybe being a gig worker will help the students to gain more exposure in the industry in the 3 years or 4 years of their curriculum, and they are available to be there.
Right, rightly said, madam, but I want to just say one thing, that we are the probably only bachelor program in professional field where almost 4 months or more than 4 months internship or 4 months industrial training is between the course. If you go to engineering, if you go to medical, so we did about 20 years back. So that vision which is there definitely needed to be respected, but at the same time, whatever maximum exposure a student can have, they will have better understanding about the industry and will be able to focus more on the career he want to follow. Now I will ask Poonam madam, she has a good experience, number of years experience. So what are her views about the low enrollment and how we can, because Lalit is not only running hotels, they are also running institute. So therefore, Lalit group also has same pain that we are having. Please.
Thank you, and namaskar everyone. So what I feel, I think we need to think about the role enrollment from the lens of the student today. I think a a student, when he's passing out from class 12th, has varied career options, and why should he look at hospitality? So the student is thinking probably what's in it for him to opt for this career. So I think from that standpoint, we need to think, understand, reflect, and probably reimagine as to how we change the perception of the industry. You know, I think and honestly, we are to be blamed to a certain extent about this. Yes, COVID or no COVID, yes, COVID has played a role, but the long working hours that we have, though hotels is a very, very glamorous job as it's perceived from outside, but we all know as a fact, even our industrial trainees are put to long hours of work, and all of that exists as a fact. So how do we change that perception? So it has to be a collaborative approach between industry and academia, that how do we change this perception for the better in the minds of the youth. Also, how do we ensure that the curriculum that is being offered and the experience and the exposure that the students are undergoing in the institution, that they get ready for skills, they get equipped with skills which makes them industry ready. I think bridging of that gap is also very, very important. You said we have the industrial training format which is available, but how can we work towards making it more and more robust, more and more holistic? And Ashima also mentioned this fact that the other challenge that we face, students may come and do a hotel management course, but they don't opt for hotels as a career. They probably look at retail, they probably look at hospitals or something else. So I think that is also a point for us to internalize, to reflect as to why that is happening. Right. And that is also a possible reason why the youngsters or the youth is not choosing this as a career opportunity. I think there are a lot of learnings for us here and a lot of things that we can build and how we market and showcase ourselves as an industry. Probably talk about people who've, there could be enough and more role models that we have in the industry that we can kind of showcase back to these students, and success stories of people who've made it big in the industry for them to follow and to learn from. So those are some of the things that we can do, and also a better and stronger interface between the industry and the academia in terms of cross learnings for the faculty, taking feedback, how we can bridge those gaps. I think those are some really quick actionable points that we should be working on.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. After two industry experts, now I move to Satvir Singh ji, who is with the NCHM CT. He was principal with in IHM also. So he has a bigger role to play in this, because whatever we all say, ultimately it is to be implemented by NCHM CT only. So Satvir ji, what is your take on this?
Thank you very much, sir. And namaskar to all the members. And thank you, FHRI, for providing such a lovely platform where industry, academia, and students are meeting. First of all, I would like to answer Ashima. She said the number of industrial trainings, number of months or weeks are less. I would love to put more weeks, provided that I should have the number of years with me. The bachelor's degree which we are running right now is 3-year bachelor's degree. And if next year we'll have to follow NEP recommendation, where we are going to become 4-year bachelor's degree optional. So the number of weeks which we are putting in between after the completion of first year are, of course, 16 weeks. If I compare these weeks with the number of departments which are there in the hotel, of course these are less. By the time a student complete one department, it is not enough. I mean, the departments are so large. If I talk about kitchen only, there is not only one kitchen, a main kitchen, specialized kitchen, bakery, etc., etc. So putting one student in one department for 1 week is very less. But there are certain restrictions with us, but as my counterpart, Dr. P3 Lakhawat said, that we are thinking of having more industrial training components after the completion of first year. So we are planning to have 1 month specialization training later on. My point for the low admission, see, we've discussed all these points in the morning also. These are common points, pandemic, etc. But I want to share my experience of interaction with my pass-out students. So very often when we meet with old students, we ask, so how is the life going on? So they say that, yes, you know that you are from the industry. We don't find time for the social interaction with the family. It is 24/7 industry, and long working hour is prominent. We all know this. But apart from long working hour, I think this is the industry where the shift are also there. A person who is working in a night shift, after 2, 3, 4, or 6 months, they shifted to morning shift and then evening shift. So this matching of a routine with the shift is another important aspect. But of course, these shifts are there and these are mandatory. Number two, as in the morning, it is said that the lower the grade, the D city, B city, or C city, the marketing is important. The students over there who are studying, they are more focused towards engineering and medical only, and they're not least aware about these courses. Though the number of hotels in these cities are less, so they are not aware of these cities. Number two is, as you said, the curriculum part. Curriculum is very much focused, and we give a lot of emphasis on skill part. As such, the first half, as you have also done your hotel management, first half is totally dedicated for the skill part. All practicals, everything happens in the morning. And later on, after the lunch, we give input for theoretical part. So component, the curriculum component, NCHMCT, everything is okay, but the marketing part is losing, and work-life balance in the industry is one of the component which is dragging behind these students. Thank you.
Thank you, Satvirji. Ruma madam, what as a career counselor, we thought later on when we were deciding about who will be the panelist, and a thought came to the mind of FHRI people that why can't we have a career counselor, especially for this session. So we have a lot of expectation from her views, what we have to do to increase the enrollment in that way. Please.
Thank you so much, sir. So thank you for calling me, because yes, I will show you the picture which most of you, all of you are in majority. You know, all of you belong to one side and I am in minority. So I'll be representing the schools. I deal with schools, with parents. So the very first thing which I want to say, most of you have some idea, because you are parents also. You have people around you. So you have some idea. So as Ashima ma'am said that, you know, people are not aware. Her daughter, who belongs to an elite school, who can afford a career counselor, is aware only because mother is a hotelier. Then, you know, that's very true. Second thing is, I think you start late. You have to understand the process of decision making. When does a parent make the decision? It starts nowadays, parents and child, both of them together make a decision, and to come to one decision is also important. Okay, parents don't want to thrust the career on the child, and the child is learning from the social media. So there was some talk about engaging in social media. That's very important. You have to start very early, from the class 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. You cannot expect a 12th class. By the class they are 11, 12, they have some idea. Like you see, NEET, etc. is being promoted. That way you have to disrupt this industry. You have to make it loud, because you will get students majorly at undergraduate level. So you have to make it very loud. So, and as Ashima ma'am also said, that schools, they don't allow you. Yes, they do not allow you, because, you know, people are treating schools as a data which is at one place. सब बच्चे एक ही जगह मिल जाते हैं, so it's a good data, it's a good place to influence, to market themselves, be somebody with dresses or be somebody with coaching, anything. So yes, so there are ways you can influence them. I like to come to suggestions. First thing is start early. Second thing is you cannot go to school because school has a very tight system. They have their other restrictions also. In public schools, principal is not the only authority. So try to approach management, because management, if management says, then the gap is covered. Also, you can influence parents and children through sessions at your some way of bringing them to the hotels, to this industry, to the IHMs. You can ask for educational tours. You can tell the schools that through the education departments, through the government, there they definitely listen that, you know, you have to provide an educational tour to the Hotel Management Institute. So when they go for a tour, they have a better idea about what a hotel industry is, and you can educate further. Secondly, if you have alumni people, they are very successful people, all of you are very successful, you must be having some school where you came from. So you can approach your own school. On some PTA days, you know, there are PTMs, parent-teacher meetings. There you can go and you can collaborate. They won't mind the 30, you know, they have a successful employee, successful alumni to show off. So, like they call cricketers, I remember DAVs, they call Kapil Dev and all these, you know, that they are our alumni. So you can go there like that, and that way you can open to them. And second thing, there are certain myths about this profession. I'm talking of good schools, I mean elite schools where you can find English people, people who are speaking English. Then if you want, as somebody talked about, I'm sorry, I am not aware of most of your names. So, you know, pyramid, the base level students, that is where most of the initial students will join. For that, you can look at the middle class people who are groomed. You know, there is some kind of initial grooming already required when you are coming into hospitality industry. So, like in army, we have Gorkha regiment and we have Jat regiment. So, you can focus at certain states. I don't want to sound biased, but you have an industry that requires a different kind of flair in the culture. So, you can focus like that on those districts, and you can approach those government schools, you know, Kendriya Vidyalayas. Most of them, they have government employees, and the student you get, they don't have a lot of money. So they will wonder, if I've spent 4 lakh or 5 lakh and I'll get a secure job. So you can approach Rajkiya Pratibha Vikas Vidyalaya in Delhi, I know of Delhi, and there are corporate schools like Vidya Gyan, that is run by Shiv Nadars. Then there is Him Jyoti in Uttarakhand, that is completely all girls school. And also you can look at encouraging women factor, the female enrollment in this, because now for that you will have to project this industry as a safe industry.
Right, right.
So now it's no longer those times when, you know, parents are thinking कि भाई teacher बन जाए या doctor बन जाए, you know, आके घर संभाले. ऐसा नहीं है. People are changing. The girls are coming into different industry. So make it, since it's a caring industry, this is an industry which needs care. Even men have to have that femininity, the feminine caring approach in them when they are dealing with people, because they are making them comfortable. They are making them feel cared for. So we should have more feminine power. I won't say females, because at times what happens when you are working in a male-dominating industry, then even females have to appear like, you know, have some masculine style. So more feminine energy in this, and the middle class people will definitely love to come, because they don't have luxury of the home, luxury of AC homes as such.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
So that is my point. Thank you so much. I hope I made some difference.
Right, very good. You have given so many food for thought for the Lakhawat sir and the Satvir ji to incorporate those things, because we need to. I have some experience. In 1984, one student in Food Craft Institute did food production course. And he is in touch with me till now. That is after 40 years, and he has sent me more than 100 students for doing craft diploma as well as degree program student from their villages or from their district. And still, our FHRI IHM, presently every year we get 1 or 2 students who have been nominated by him. I call him nominated, not suggested by him. He sends us, sir, 2 ladke bheje hain, dekh lena. So we need these kind of persons who have a real touch with their institutions, and they do that. Last 4-5 months, I am advocating that our solid base in the hotel management program was मैं एक थोड़ा लिटरल शब्द में कहूँगा, हमारे पुराने प्रिंसिपल साहब सक्सेना जी कहते थे कि हमें अमीर घरों के बिगड़े हुए बच्चे चाहिए. We need person from a good background with a good communication, but not so keen about the academics, not want to be doctor, engineer. And we have about 5 decades, about 55% to 60% student in HM program are coming from the northern belt. This is the best time for us to interact because Canada issue is at peak. All those students who are going to Canada for higher education and job, they are not going this year. So the Punjab, Delhi, Himachal, Haryana, this is the best time for us to track those students, to find out them, because they are desperately looking into alternate career. And if we bring them into the fold, it will not increase only the number, it will definitely speak about the quality of the student who are passing out from the catering colleges. So now, after suggestions from the madam, I request Mr. Sheth to tell us about the reason and the causes, how to overcome.
Thank you. Thank you to the panelists for such lovely insights. You know, I believe, and you know, that our business is very simple. The hospitality business is very simple. In the school, we used to study that a human body is made up of 70% water and 30% mass. Now, come to our industry and any business for where human beings are involved. It's every human being is 90% emotion and 10% logic. The problem is that we have started applying too much of logic to everything. You know, hotels are romanticizing their own brands across the market. Why can't we partner with the academics? And you know, like Mr. Kachru had mentioned in the morning, that we have most of the CEOs and the heads of organizations who are IHM pass outs. Why can't we involve them in creating some kind of a marketing campaign for, you know, and go to cities where, you know, as ma'am said, go to the schools, etc. Why can't we create those kind of marketing campaigns in partnership, in collaboration with the industry, and attract talent? You know, I think as Ms. Gulati was saying that, you know, the kid is in 11th, my daughter's in 12th. And, you know, it's our responsibility as hoteliers to really showcase what we do every day. You know, whenever I used to visit my daughter's school, I always used to go well-dressed. You know, I would wear a pant, shirt, sometimes, you know, a tie or a suit. There was no need. But I always used to feel that it's my responsibility, that what I'm doing, I must showcase that. And I was able to attract, madam, I was able to attract a lot of, you know, questions and queries from the teachers and the students as to what do you do, you know. And I was able to break through that school, and I gave a career counseling session and educated them about, you know, how hotel management is and what does it do, etc. You know, so I think as industry, we need to come down, you know, and stay grounded to the reality, partner, collaborate with the academics, and my strong recommendation would be to run a strong marketing campaign in collaboration with the industry. You know, National Council could do that. Talking about attrition, you know, I think this problem has been forever, and COVID or not COVID, you know, there is a lot of buoyancy in the business now. But of course, there was a dearth of talent during the COVID. There were a lot of colleges which did not have an intake of students in the first year. So I think by next year onwards, we will have a better, you know, opportunity of people.
Yes.
But I think what is important for these youngsters, I'll just take 2 more minutes, is that, you know, in hotels, we offer them innovative and lucrative career opportunities, not just the 4 departments as you mentioned. People should be able to think about revenue. People should be able to think about reservations. People should be able to think about marketing, PR, communication. That's what the young population is interested in these days. So I think career opportunities, lucrative and innovative opportunities within a hotel company or a hotel has a very, very important role. So since we don't have much time, Mr. Singh, I would go back to you.
Right. Thank you. Now, on this topic, I will ask Mr. Raja, who has a good experience of industry as well as academics. He is among the few people who work in the institute for a certain number of years, even more than a decade, then gone back to the industry and now come back to the institute. So we would like to hear his valuable suggestion about that. But keep it in mind, whatever suggestion you have to give, you have to implement.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, and good afternoon, everybody. It's such an honor to be part of this elite panel discussion. So, in my opinion, as we see this particular topic today, I think there are 4 stakeholders. It's like the 4 prongs of the fork. And if one of the prongs is actually not straight, then you will not be able to enjoy your food. The first stakeholder, of course, is the aspiring students who are looking for their career in hospitality. Are we marketing hospitality enough for them? Are we reaching out to them across India? When we have been listening since morning that almost 2 crores youths will be eligible each year for taking up jobs. They will be employable. Are we giving those employability skills to them? And we are talking about, if you talk about National Council, it's only 12,000 seats. And we are talking to a tune of figure which is 2 crores. So who influences them? Definitely schools, definitely parents, who are their angel investors, and they want good, and that's why they were going to invest in their education. And we are talking about millennials today. In another 4 or 5 years, we are going to talking about Gen Z. So as in training, every generation has an entry behavior. Have we checked on their entry behavior? What are their expectations? If you see millennials, they have a very short span of attention. They do not want to stick to an industry for long, a hotel for long. From our generations, 30 years back, 40 years back, we have seen people retiring from the same company. People have been given long service award for completing 35 years, 40 years, if not 5 years. But in today's generation, if people are there in the same hotel, same organization for 3 years, he is actually given a long service award. That is the reality of what is happening now. So what kind of environment are we creating? Are we highlighting enough success stories of all who have done this course and have been successful? Are they reaching out to these people and speaking about what they have done, their life's journey? You gradually evolve after doing hotel management. So when I started off as a chef. And then in training, then a lecturer, then back to industry as training manager, then HR, and I'm the principal. So you keep evolving. If you don't evolve, if you stagnate, you are wiped out. And I can tell you, the entire here, they all have evolved. They're not into their first job, their first profession. So evolution is must. If you do not evolve yourself, and who helps you to evolve? Again, the influencers. So people who are mentoring these youths, social media, are we putting the right kind of details, documentation in the social media, which they keep on seeing in their mobile phones? It's very important to be creative. A couple of days back, at Calcutta, we launched the ICA, which is the Eastern Indian Culinary Association. Chef Manjit Gill was there, and he said a very nice point. He said, "Jab tak khana hai, hum log hai." So we don't die because our profession don't die, because somebody has to cook the food, somebody has to serve the food. And that passion with which you cook the food and serve the food, you don't need too much of brainers. We have IITs and IIMs We need people who have a large heart and the right attitude which is in that heart. And that is how hoteliers are. You look at the success stories of great general managers, VPs and CEOs and managers, they're all people's men. More than the process, they have actually owned their team, trained their team, and have retained their team. So to the industry, when I say if the industry has to take one vow, is how to be sensitive to the generations that we are dealing with. We are gone with Generation X when we have understood we have to work. If it's 12 hours, 14 hours, doesn't matter, we are there, right? Now is the generation which needs more of pampering and handholding because they're a single child. Parents have been doing that. अगर टीचर ने आँख उठा के देख लिया तो parents, and we know how we have shaped our hands, how much of caning was there. So there is a generation gap, and one has to realize in the industry how sensitively these people needs to be pampered, recognized at every moment. If they're doing a small detailing also, if some achievement, that it has to be celebrated.
Right, thank you.
Right? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, in fact, we, being the institutes, need to keep our vision clear. Institute has not been opened and run by the staff. It has been opened and run for the students, and therefore, student interest must be there at the top. I and Nishit had gone in 2013 to Cornell, sent by the Ministry of Tourism to have some kind of MOU. We had gone for 3 days, and the first day when we reached at the breakfast, it was complimentary breakfast from their side, and they said, we will meet again tomorrow afternoon. We were shocked. We were there for 3 days to discuss some issues pertaining to MOU, and the gentleman, the pro dean or vice dean is saying us to meet, we will meet tomorrow afternoon. Then we put our foot down. We said we are not coming here to see your campus only. We came here to have a serious understanding, talk, and then finally you'll be surprised to know that me and Nishit got the one-side MOU from the Cornell pertaining to hospitality education, but unfortunately that could not click at the ministry level. So therefore, there should be some efforts, and the government of India is the only country, India is the only country in the world where such a great training infrastructure in the hospitality industry has been created by government. You will not find, even when we had gone to USA and then we had gone to Lausanne, when we talked about such a large number of IHM created by the government, they were surprised. So such a beautiful infrastructure has been created. We have more than 170, more than 60 institutes with the NCHM only, which has been created by the government. It is responsibility for everyone. I remember one of the HR expert or the training expert, Mr. Mittal, who trained most of us in the IHM. He came to IHM Mumbai. Nishit is here, with his faculty was there. And we all complained that his students are like this and that, they don't. He said only one thing, only one line. And after that line, no one was dare to speak anything. He said, our students are coming to get failed. Students fail होने के लिए आपके पास नहीं आता. स्टूडेंट एडमिशन लेता है पढ़ने के लिए. इसका मतलब कि उसका जो प्रोसेस है आपका स्टूडेंट के आने के बाद से और एग्ज़ाम तक का या पास आउट होने तक का, उसमें कहीं शॉर्ट कमिंग है, चाहे वो आपकी फैकल्टी की हो, चाहे वो आपके सिस्टम की हो, चाहे एग्जामिनेशन पैटर्न की हो, स्टूडेंट उसमें कहीं खो जाता है. तो आप उसके लिए पेरेंट्स को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते, स्टूडेंट को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते, ब्लेम अपने आप को खुद को लेना पड़ेगा और जितना बेस्ट पॉसिबल हो उस तरीके से स्टूडेंट को ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा. कॉर्नेल में अगर जो है मास्टर्स प्रोग्राम में जब मैं गया तो केवल जो है वो एक स्टूडेंट इंडियन था, वो 20 मिनट पहले क्लास के बाहर खड़ा हो जाता था. एक सेशन हमें भी अटेंड करने का मौका मिला निशीत को, और हमने पूछा कि भाई तुम तो इंडिया में IHM करके आए हो, वहाँ भी 20 मिनट पहले जाते थे क्या? तो कहता नहीं सर, वहाँ तो नहीं जाते थे, लेकिन यहाँ एक दिन का हम 20,000 पे कर रहे हैं. आई एम पेइंग 20,000 rupees for a day, so I ensure that I should be there in the class, out of the class 20 minutes before. So we have to make the student a little bit more responsible, our faculty much more responsible to in a way. There should not be a negative thing in the environment about the institutes, about the thing. And slowly, I had a great discussion with Mr. Karthik Namo Shivam, who is basically Dean and Professor in Michigan State University pertaining to this. And he has sent me a 3-page letter pertaining to this event which is happening today, who is in touch with the NCHM also from last 1 year. He said that don't worry about this low enrollment. It is there in the US also. After COVID, low enrollment is everywhere in the hospitality. Last year, we were able to get 18% increase in numbers. You may take some time, but if your house is in order and you are able to reach to the concerned students, related student who can be your targeted student, definitely you will come back as early as possible. You have to make effort, and we expect that industry should also cooperate and give us some fund to the NCHM for social media marketing, because only NCHM or IHM cannot do the marketing, and we cannot ask money from Ministry of Tourism for this purpose. So if we all together do a purposeful marketing, then we can turn around and we can make the IHM, because we are proud that our IHMs are self-sustained in terms of recurring expenditure from last 4 decades. We are not asking any money, recurring support from the government. All other institutes are getting money from UGC, but we have not been given. So whatever is there, we have capabilities. Only thing is this, if the industry comes with us, National Council remain more active and IHM more active, we will be in position to get this student. Now the second point, which will have only 5 minutes left, so I will ask 6 minutes. So one of the panelists to speak about 1 minute about the attrition, because our, being the institute, main worry is low enrollment. Attrition is the worry of the industry. So, Madam, please.
Okay. So firstly, I'll say that I'm happy that as part of the ITC hotels, attrition is not what we really focus upon. It's more about retention, really. And I think the HR strategy has to focus upon that, because the bigger issues of why people don't want to join the industry or they want to leave the industry and go elsewhere is not something that needs to be discussed. We are already aware. So all I can say is that the approach has to be for engagement. Approach has to be to make people feel part of the process of the work that they do, and involvement, and of course growth opportunities. And that's something in ITC hotels that we are doing at a very large level. At another time, maybe one will be happy to share the kind of things that we do and the initiatives we take. But that's what it is, the holistic approach and strategy to retain people. If we have more than 75% of retention, I think that's a fairly good story to talk about.
Thank you, ma'am. Poonam, madam, are you worried about attrition?
No, definitely, yes. It is a worry, but I think if we talk about retention, we tend to think of it as an area of opportunity. And rather than using the word attrition, at Lalit, we believe in using the word talent retention, and how can we kind of make efforts to retaining our team members. So one is, of course, we work with a lot of diverse workforce, and diversity, equity, and inclusion is in our DNA. So we work with the marginalized communities. We work with people like the acid attack warriors. We work with the LGBTQAI+ community. And these are people who have been very, very loyal to the organization. They tend to stay with us because they feel that we've been able to provide them a safe space. So it is, we are kind of seeing this as an opportunity area for us and building a diverse workforce. Also, I'd like to share with the audience here that we 50% of our senior most women team members are 50% of our senior corporate leaders are women at Lalit. And how we've been able to achieve this is because we strongly believe in a catch line for us and in a campaign that she leads at the Lalit. So I think it is about viewing it differently with a different lens, reimagining the whole arena, that the opportunities lie in this challenge, and to flip it differently. Also, career pathing is very, very important. Like I said earlier, today a youngster joining the industry wants to see what's a career path for him in this industry, or for him or her. So it's important to share career paths. It's also important to offer diverse career opportunity, growth. So, and we do this beautifully at Lalit. We give people cross-exposure. We have a mix of leisure, business hotels, different sizes. So we are able to give that opportunity, and we grow people from one function to the other.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Sheth, what are your views? Because I'm asking this question only from the industry. We will
No,
about
at
the attrition.
Leela, you know, we are a feminine brand, right? There's no other brand in the world which has been named after somebody else's, somebody's wife. Yeah. So Leela represents love, it represents bliss, it represents passion, right? So what we have done is we have started introducing a lot of innovative career opportunities to people. We don't only restrict them to one department. I mean, we give them a freedom to choose whatever you want to do. You know, they want to get into butlers, you want to get into food and beverage. We have started hiring people in revenue, in marketing, PR, communications, from hotels into our corporate office. We have started, creating the Palace Services program, a very beautiful program to have a better diversity. Is chefs at the Leela. Here, chefs does not start with a C, it starts with an S. So SHE, chefs at the Leela, which is only targeted to women, who want to make a career in kitchen. And that's how we intend to, I mean, due to paucity of time, but of course we can explain a lot more in detail later whenever we get an opportunity.
In fact, we should not be much worry about attrition. When we were in IHM, I was in IHM Mumbai, we see so many film star and TV star who are from IHM Mumbai. So we feel pride in that. So if someone is moving, after having the experience of the knowledge and experience of the hotel, if someone want to move away or is maybe associate industries, like one of my students, Chinmay Sharma in IHM Mumbai 92, IHM Jaipur 92 pass out, he is the president of Sabre, SABRE Technologies, who is dealing with the softwares. He is the global president of that company. He was the chief revenue officer of Taj Group of Hotels for 3 years. So if the person feels that he is suitable in all international hotel school, you will find they appreciate if the people want to go to the retail business or to the real estate business after doing masters in hospitality. Why to stop them? So attrition, no doubt, a cause, but I will not ask this question to my colleagues, my friends, because there are a few people who are compelling us to wind up the session. But before that, we need to have 3-4 questions. So it has been requested. So please raise your hand and please send the mic to them.
Good afternoon, everyone. While we're talking about low enrollment, I want to present a different case and a quick question along with that. Lakshadweep saw skyrocketing demand post Honorable Prime Minister's visit. And the demand for hospitality and tourism courses has increased there. And I'll tell you the collaboration that the industry partners, especially the hoteliers, that they had with the tourism educational institution back in Lakshadweep. I have personally seen the growth and the immense enhancement of skill sets of the students there, all thanks to leading groups, especially Taj as well. We've seen the students, last year we did, hotel groups came up to us and we did an internship for the students. This was the first time that they came to mainland for a full-fledged internship. They learned the skills, they went back, they participated in the G20 conferences that happened there in Lakshadweep. And now they're also gainfully employed in the hospitality sector. So it shows that there is a need to focus on Tier 3, Tier 4 cities, and collaboration is something that the hoteliers can look at, which can be beautifully leveraged through CSR initiatives. Through CSR, please try to focus on Tier 3, Tier 4 educational institutions which are offering hospitality and tourism courses.
So it's not a question, it's a suggestion that you have given, and THSC is working very well on that topic. And along with that, the Ministry of Tourism also had a scheme, the skill certification program, where as well as HSR scheme, which was implemented by every hotel who want to be star categorized from 1 star to 5 star deluxe. They have to train people in their own area, and if they can be absorbed there, that's well and good. Anyone want to ask a question? Please give mic to.
Yeah, very good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Alok Kumar. So I've heard all of you, but I want to give another dimension of low enrollment and bring a new thought and food for thought kind of. Like last 5 years, like you all are focusing on 12th pass students or would-be pass out students and willing to do marketing on that. But post-pandemic, there is another problem. like our 2019 to 2024, 5 years pass out students from hospitality institutions are very much dissatisfied. Like kind of they are feeling cheated kind of. And why I am saying that, I have been director of Center of Excellence, and my students, like government established Center of Excellence, and my target students was the hospitality graduates. And since we started after pandemic, I have been rigorously marketing to get 150 students out of that to admit in my Center of Excellence and upskill them. And upskill them with a promise of minimum 25K salary. And there all pedagogy was there, Lemon Tree as industry partner being there, guaranteeing the job. Government, here we were not charging any fee. Instead of that, government was giving me 10 lakh rupees per students to spend. That is more than any IIT and IIM. But still I faced to enroll those 150 students. And what was the scenario? That they were very dissatisfied and very tough to get them. And focus target was those 150 drop out from any of the hospitality institution. So when my 5-year students are dissatisfied, means they are the recent youth, and they would be awareing and they will be demotivating further and leading to the low enrollment.
Sir, this is what you said, it's a very generalized thing.
Yeah.
If you see the placement record of IHMs, government IHM, this year about 85% student has been placed. Question is not about the job opportunity.
No.
Question is what is the expectation of the student, and are they able to get that amount, that post or that amount of money?
So the question is never the job opportunities. Maybe 3 job opportunities is there. Even if you say 85%, my 3 years pass out students, more than 100% job, and my target was 25K, average salary, I landed up into 3.54 lakhs per annum. And I didn't place any of my student to Lemon Tree who is backing up into that. So opportunities are enormous, but the students are not willing, and they are that is reflecting in the enrollment.
Right.
So this is one major problem we have to reach to our alumni, because that is creating a general negative perception about the hospitality.
If you really ask, sir, we would like to have such a infrastructure, such a training in the institute where a student need not to go to your institute. After passing out from institute, they should get the job of 25,000 rupees more per month. So they need not to go to any other place. So
If that was a problem, that's why our Honorable Prime Minister brought a 800 crores of fund and started an 150 crore campus.
What I'm saying, that should be our aim. That should be our aim, that why a student after doing 3 years should go to another institute, finishing a school.
That was a problem to bridge the gap. Our Prime Minister has to get into and bring us such kind of institution.
So that you have given serious food for thought to us, to IHMs, to see that what best they can do, that a student should get a job of 20. Several institutes are doing. IHM Mumbai, we are doing from last 10 decades. We don't permit any of the company in campus interview who is offering less than 25,000 rupees in campus. If they want, a student cannot be selected, is not being selected somewhere, we give them detail to the student, to those companies, they talk them directly, but you don't permit campus interview for a company offering less than 20,000 rupees in IHM Mumbai. So it depends. We get every kind of a student, and obviously your institute should also get a student for that.
My institute, 10 lakhs, that is 10 lakhs per annum per student by the government. So you can think how much the government of India is spending, which is not done for the IHM Mumbai.
You just brief us about the program that you are talking about. We will also do that in our IHM.
Sir, though I am not the panelist, but your question I would like to reply in remain. See, the more program you subsidize, the more less confident and less interested people will come in. I'll give example. If you see the bakery and pastry art, they are charging 15 lakhs rupees for 1 year program, and they have a waiting list. So the more, instead of subsidizing, increase the standard and charge more fees, because people value, even when you see a survey, I was seeing a survey, 51% parents are saving money to send their ward to abroad to study, and they are ready to spend 50 lakhs there. But when you are subsidizing, you are not getting a student. So it is question of how much you are spending on a student in terms of quality of education and raising their standards. The more subsidy, the more less interested students.
Thank you, Nishit ji.
So that is why.
Thank you.
लास्ट में मैं एक ही लाइन बोलना चाहूँगा, क्वेश्चंस तो बहुत सारे हैं मुझे लग रहे हैं। जैसे सर ने कहा कि अमीर बाप के बिगड़े हुए औलाद, उनको हम यहाँ पे लाने की कोशिश करते, तो मुझे लगता है अमीर बाप तो मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन बिगड़ी हुई औलाद ज़रूर आती थी और हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री ने हमें सुधारा। तो वी आर थैंकफुल टू हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री। थैंक यू।
Can we have a huge round of applause for our speakers? I would now like to invite Mr. S.K. Arumugam, Executive Committee Member, FHRI, to felicitate all our speakers. Thank you so much. May we have a huge round of applause for him?
मुझे दे दीजिए, मैं दे दूंगा इनको, दोनों को दे दूंगा लाइव। मुझे जल्दी जल्दी कर देंगे, एक सेशन बाकी। गो दिए और है कोई मेरे अलावा? ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ करा के फिर प्लीज कम फॉर ग्रुप चलो ठीक है। आइए प्लीज कम फॉर ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ। सर आइए।